love the chase and the hunt, and I set the pace when I'm running. I always take what I want and I always give it 100. Don't need a bank, no I'm funded. Play the game like it's nothing. I'm always thankful for something. Don't take for granted, stay humble. Now wake up! It's time to look at the enemy. Look in the mirror if he is no friend to me. It's not working out, maybe it's the chemistry. It's time to break up so I can make a better me. Better believe in your mind, cause it's everything. You can mold, shape, find almost anything. All it takes is some time and some clarity to find your identity. It's mind over everything. And when I feel like this, I'm immortal. 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 Don't be scared. Just give me up. Don't be scared. Back. I won't stop, I'ma fight until there's nothing left. It's so on, you're gonna be hurting bad, cause I've been to hell and back. You don't wanna make me mad, I stay strong, you will never see me crack. And if you get in my way, you're gonna feel the wrath. Gotta say it to my face while he's looking back. Mirror breaks after math, when I hate, I attack. I'm immortal. When I feel like this, I'm immortal. When I feel like this, I'm immortal. When I feel like this, I'm immortal. Don't be scared. Just give me up. Don't be scared. Love the chase and the hunt, and I set the pace when I'm running. I always take what I want and I always give it 100. Don't need a bank, no I'm funded. Play the game like it's nothing. I'm always thankful for something. Don't take for granted, stay humble. Now wake up! It's time to look at the enemy. Look in the mirror if he is no friend to me. It's not working out, maybe it's the chemistry. It's time to break up so I can make a better me. Better believe in your mind, cause it's everything. You can mold, shape, find almost anything. All it takes is some time and some clarity to find your identity. It's mind over everything. And when I feel like this, I'm immortal. 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 Don't be scared. Just give me up.
Welcome in, everybody, to Fantasy Pros. This is the Week 4 Stardom Sit-em live stream. It is me, Joey P. Joe Pizzabia. With me today is Andrew Erickson. Of course, it's you. We're hanging out on the YouTube channel. Like the stream, share, subscribe, do all these magical things, and good things will happen to you, or so I've been told. Andrew Erickson, it's nice to see your face today, my friend. Are you ready to help the people out?
Yes. I come prepared every Thursday at this time. I've gone through all the games, the matchups, updating the rankings with all the news so that I'm ready to take on the questions and be like, I don't know. No, I know. I know exactly what the answer
Whoa,
is.
man, the confidence level's huge today. Let's talk a little bit about news while we're waiting for the questions to filter in again. If you have a question, you have to be a subscriber to Fantasy Pros in order to drop that. And I see those subscriber numbers going up, so thank you. And of course, we're giving away free stuff. More on that a little later in the show. But first, let's talk a little bit about some of these guys. The limited practices. Chris Godwin was back at practice Wednesday, limited. Julio Jones back at practice, limited. What are you doing with these two guys?
With Chris Godwin, I mean, if he's playing, I'm going to play him. If he's
Really?
out there,
Right
I
into the
mean,
fire.
the Buccaneers need receivers, and even a banged up Russell Gage was able to get enough fantasy production done last week with Tom Brady because Tom Brady was just looking for guys to throw the ball to. So, if the Chiefs are going to put up points against Tampa's defense, then you're going to have to see some retaliation from Brady and company. So, Chris Godwin is so the thing is tricky is that that's a late game. So, I'm not going to wait for Godwin.
And the
If I have
Florida issues
Yeah,
as
so,
well.
it's a scenario where, if I don't have any other good options, then I'll wait for him, but if I have someone on the fringe, one of these other flex guys, like, I'll just play him over Godwin, but, I would like to play Godwin if I am able to.
I would like to play Chris Godwin. I would like to. Dalton Schultz got in a limited session on Wednesday. If he is a go, are you throwing him back out there? I know tight end is rough. I imagine you have to, right?
It's definitely concerning because even before his injury, so in the 2 games he played with Cooper Rush, he was horrible. Like, he had no targets. They used some of the other tight ends. And the thing about Dallas is the reason Schultz is so appealing is because he plays on every snap. Like, he's an every down player. And if he's coming into this game limited in any capacity, we saw this last week with Hayden Hurst. He was on the injury report, and then he played in the game. But then when you looked at his snaps, it was like, oh, he wasn't playing his normal role. So if Dalton Schultz is not playing his regular role, then he's not the same tight end for fantasy that you want. So I need to see him healthy on the field first, and more importantly, getting targets from Cooper Rush because we still haven't seen that yet. So I'm going to keep Dalton Schultz on the bench.
Okay, fair enough. Now, tonight we are going to get to it. It looks like as of right now, we're also going to get Jaylen Waddle, so that's very good news. Michael Thomas misses practice on Thursday today with the toe issue. So this is getting a little dicey here. You're a little concerned for not only the short-term Michael Thomas value, but the long-term as well, because toe injuries, foot injuries, things like that, they can always take its toll. And certainly Michael Thomas has had some of these lower body issues before.
Yeah, no, it's definitely concerning. He's an older wide receiver, older veteran guy, and it's not like he's going to come out of this stronger every single time he gets banged up again. And, a lot of his early season production was tied to touchdowns. We kind of pointed that out on some of our trade podcasts that, hey, like, if someone wants to give you a lot for Michael Thomas, then you should probably move off of him. And right now you're dealing with the downside of Michael Thomas when we were drafting him is like, yeah, if he's back and healthy, then he's going to produce. And when he's been on the field, he's produced. But this is the other side of the coin here with Michael Thomas, where he's banged up. And it's not just him that's banged up. Jarvis Landry's banged up. Traquan Smith has a concussion. So right now, like, Chris Olave is just, that guy's slated to be locked and loaded, wide receiver 2 rest of the season? Like,
Well,
I'm trying to
are you
see
concerned
where
with Winston's health, though, too? It seems like the Saints right now are in a really precarious situation, health-wise, record-wise, everything.
Yeah, I do like that they have Andy Dalton there as the backup. I don't think that you're not going to get as many air yards from Andy Dalton than you would get
Really?
from
Are you
Jameis
sure?
Winston. No,
Are
I feel
you
pretty
telling me the Red
confident.
Rifle's not up for the task?
There are worse backup quarterbacks you could go to.
That's
I
true.
will say that. So, again, Olave, if he's still getting targets, he's still being used as the wide receiver 1 in the offense. I think just it impacts probably more guys like Kamara if the overall efficiency of the offense is going down, not enough touchdowns, and definitely hurts a guy like Michael Thomas and Jarvis Landry. So, I think the expectation is Winston's not going to miss this game. That's what I believe as well. I don't think he wants to miss his chance to to throw the ball overseas if he could do it. So I think Olave, though, needs to be in lineups, like pretty much
Fair
regardless.
enough. Fair enough. Again, not everybody has Brian Hoyer as a backup quarterback. Let's get to your questions. And remember, everybody, if you've got a question, drop it here in the chat. And to drop it in the chat, you need to be a subscriber of Fantasy Pros. And when you do, we are giving away a signed, autographed Jaylen Waddle jersey. Miami Dolphins own Jaylen Waddle, thanks to our good friends at Pristine Auction. You need to be a subscriber of Fantasy Pros. So subscribe right now. You need to drop a comment or question in the chat right now in this video. That's it. And we will be announcing the winner right here on the channel at some time. So don't forget to turn on that little bell. Click the bell for notifications till it goes ding so we can let you know when you win the Jaylen Waddle jersey. I'm sure it's going to be you. That's right, you. I'm talking to you. Not everybody else, just you. Let's get to your questions. Jonathan wants to know flex PPR, Khalil, Herbert, or Godwin. Also, does KC versus Tampa Bay get postponed? I have Fournette. Well, we don't know right now that situation. Again, you'll know when we know. We are not Jim Cantori with the Weather Channel, and we're certainly, not breaking news here like Adam Schefter and those people. But if we're trying to prepare because it's the late game, Andrew, how are you preparing for that? And is it smarter to say, if you have Fournette, to make sure you have Herbert in that lineup and maybe put Fournette in the flex? If you have somebody for maybe the Monday night game, you could throw in there if things do get moved.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's always the best practice is make sure your guys are in the flexes are playing in the latest games. So
Right.
that's always something we always echo. It's just smart strategy, so you don't lock yourself into anything. But in this case, like I would have Herbert and Fournette in the same tier if Montgomery is ruled out. So I would just start Herbert. I mean, you're looking at guys that are going to see the bell cow usage in their offenses. And I mean, I'd argue Herbert's probably the better rusher at this point than Leonard
Well,
Fournette
would you
is.
start
So
Herbert or Godwin? That was kind of the question here. Like, I don't know how too much we want to be invested in this Tampa Bay game if you've already got Fournette too.
yeah, I
That
mean,
seems a little
I would
precarious
start
to me.
Herbert over Godwin easy, even
Agreed.
in
Okay.
PPR.
All right, let's go to DJ Osborne's question. Trade Bateman for QB Trevor Lawrence. I have Adams, Waddle, Higgins, lost Lance. So, I hate in a single quarterback league trading a wide receiver. I wish there was like a Goff or somebody you could stream, but I understand low end QB's been a little rough. How do you see this? Is Bateman, like when you have Waddle, Higgins, and Adams, is Bateman really expendable in your opinion, even with buys coming up?
I mean, no, I would rather, I want to be the one that's trading Trevor Lawrence away for Rashad Bateman. Like that's the side I would rather be on. You can make do on the waiver wire. Like I just don't think it's necessary for you to trade a piece like Bateman, who, yeah, he's coming off a down week, but he's an integral part of your team
Right.
potentially. What if you lose? Waddle's dealing with an injury right now. What if Waddle goes out and re-injured to the groin? Then he's out. Okay, well now you wish you had another receiver because like when you look at like a 2v2 where it's like Bateman and then the quarterback that you pick up off the waiver wire versus Lawrence and then the receiver that you then have to start instead of Bateman, I think you're going to prefer the quarterback on the waiver wire more. So I wouldn't do that.
Yeah, I don't like it either. I'd rather have the 4 wide receivers, especially with buys, especially with the flex. I'd be looking for that next person after that. That's the person I'm trying to use as a chip to get a quarterback. And Lawrence has played well. Like I'm the biggest Lawrence guy there is. I'm very jealous of the hair, and he's been fantastic. But I think Bateman's a little bit more valuable than Lawrence is in a single QB league. Ryan Muckler wants to know: sit 1, Lamb, Pittman, Johnson, Samuel, London, Allen, full PPR. It's a really good group here. We're just sitting 1. So I assume Johnson is Deontay Johnson. Is that where you're going here with this one? Or are you going to sit Keenan Allen first game back? How do you want to play this one?
Yeah, definitely don't want. So Lamb, Pittman, and London are all pretty dialed in. I mean, because you're just looking at, so like Johnson versus Samuel, you're just looking at 2 guys that have both high end target shares in their offenses. But you have question marks about like, how great are the quarterbacks necessarily for their respective
Well,
offenses.
I know who's worse. If you
Yeah,
want
we
to
do
play
know
that
who's
game,
worse.
we can
So
play that game. That's an easy game.
so that is true. But Samuel, he's so involved in their offense. I mean, do you have a strong lean? I'm pretty torn
Yeah,
between those
Johnson's
two.
the odd man out for me.
Johnson.
Unless you want to sit Allen in that first game back because you're worried how much he's going to be on the field with the Herbert injury. Like I kind of get that, but for me right now, and I understand like this is tough. I don't think this is a pretty good group, all things considered. So I'm
Yeah.
not really super concerned. And if Deontay Johnson's going to get Sauce Gardner's healthy and to go, then that's a tough day at the office. That's how I look at it.
Yeah, the thing that's tricky is it's full people. I mean, but with Curtis Samuel, I think that he's so just immune to any type of
Samuel's
matchup.
in for me. Like
Yeah, I
I'm
think
not
I
taking him
agree.
out.
Yeah, I think I agree, especially with
Deontay Johnson's wide receiver 37 on the year, which I think we just have to remind ourselves. He has not had a, let me just take a look here too. In standard, he's wide receiver 37. In half, he's wide receiver 32.
yeah.
He has had 9 points, 11 points, 12 points. Like, I don't think it's not like sitting him, you're going to miss the biggest Deontay Johnson game of the year all of a sudden.
That's a very good point. And I think too, when you look at the matchup for Washington against Dallas, I mean, if Dallas is just bringing, I mean, Carson Wentz got sacked 9 times last week, so Curtis Samuel has a very low average depth of target. He's right in your line of scrimmage, so Wentz is going to dump the ball off to him. So that's going to get you points in a PPR, which is those passes are easier to complete than the button hooks that Deontay Johnson runs that you're hoping Mitchell Trubisky gets to him against, like you said, against some pretty decent corners on the Jets with DJ Reed and Sauce Gardner. So, I mean, with just the point on Keenan Allen, I think it's a scenario where they like need him to step up. It's not where like they can have the luxury to kind of like ease him back in. The Chargers need to like win a game. Like they are starting to fall out of favor already in the AFC West, and they're playing the Texans. Like they need to win this game, and Keenan Allen is one of their best players, and if he's healthy, like I expect him to be full go. So I think Keenan Allen led the team in targets in week 1, and he didn't even play in the second half. So he's still super important to that offense.
All right, let's go to the next one here. What do we got? What do we have? We have Roger Abalos, Tom Brady, or Derek Carr this week. Who do you want to play?
I mean, Tom Brady's got to show me that he can be a top 12 quarterback. I mean, he's been outside the top 18 all 3 weeks. So I'm going Derek Carr.
I'm going Derek Carr too. I've got him at 10 in my rankings. I've got Brady at 13. Carr so far, 17 points, 19 points, 21 points. I'll take that to the bank. He's QB 12 right now. And as you said, Tom Brady.
He's got weapons. He's got weapons.
You want to take a guess what Tom Brady's QB number is on the year overall?
He's got.
It's going to make you throw up in your mouth.
He's outside the top 20, right?
He's closer to 30. He's 28 right now in the year.
Woof.
Woof. Let that sink in for a second. All right, let's go. Should have stayed retired. Should have stayed on that beach. That podcast looking real good now, Tommy, isn't it? Wife's pissed at you. Everything's going in the south. For what? So you can play one more. What do you got to prove? Nothing. There's nothing left to prove, Tommy. All right. Andres Zamora wants to know half PPR, Aaron Jones or James Robinson rest of season. This is a fun one.
That one is close. I need to check the rest of season rankings to make sure I'm
not
lying.
While you're checking your rest of season rankings, let me discuss this for a bit. I think they are very close. I think we've seen Aaron Jones be an RB1. We've seen James Robinson be an RB1. I think the question is, usage in the offense. I think I would still lean towards Aaron Jones slightly, but I think it's super close. And if you're trying to get rid of one of these, my answer is get rid of whoever brings you the most back, which is probably Aaron Jones. And I'm okay keeping Robinson because I do think it's close. That's my thought process. Now that you've checked your rankings, Andrew, what do you think?
I concur and I agree. I have Aaron Jones ranked also higher than James Robinson.
Yeah, but not much. I mean, James Robinson's number 3 running back on the year so far?
Yeah, I mean, I only have them 2, so I have it ranked Aaron Jones, Kamara, and James Robinson back to back to back. So that's the kind of tier I'm looking at for rest of the season for running back.
Adrian Aris, Russell Wilson, or Trevor Lawrence this week? There you go. Tough matchups there.
I mean, it's pretty clear like who's been the better quarterback. Like it's been Trevor Lawrence, but look, Russ Wilson's playing the Raiders.
Do you want to take a guess what Russell Wilson is on the year, QB?
He's probably outside the top. I mean, I don't know. It's probably bad too. What, top 25? 25. All right. Yeah. I'm going to go with Russ here, though. I think that Lawrence, I mean, it's a tough matchup against the Eagles. It is
a tough matchup. Legit. I believe in Trevor Lawrence. I think he's legit. I think the Jags are legit. I'm in. I'm all in. He's QB 10 on the year, by the way, Trevor Lawrence. Just want to point that out. He has 235 yards in each or more in each of his 3 games. He has thrown for, 6 touchdowns on the year, 1 pick. He's a better quarterback right now. It's a tough matchup. You want to talk about show me? I want Russell Wilson to show me. That's what I want. I ain't seen it yet. All right, let's go to, Tucker Bledsoe, Jeff Wilson, or Curtis Samuel in the PPR.
Going Jeff Wilson.
Really? Even in the PPR? I'm surprised about that. So you're going to take your 1575 and a touchdown from Jeffrey Wilson. That's what you want.
Mm-hmm.
All
I'll
right.
take
I'm
to the
going to
bank.
take Curtis Samuel still because, again, just in the PP, if it was half, I'd probably go with Jeff Wilson. In the full, I'm going Curtis Samuel. I think you can get the extra points here. SPFD chess, Knox or Conklin. We are a little complicated now because Zach Wilson's coming back and ruining all of our Jets things that we like so much. How dare you, Zach Wilson? So what do you think here about this? You want to go back to the Knoxwell, or do you want to go and just stick with Tyler Conklin and cross your fingers?
Man, this Conklin thing seems like it's going to definitely fizzle out here in week 4. Like, I just don't envision him seeing another 8-target game if they're not throwing the ball like 60 times. So, look, Knox has touchdown upside. Like, that's the thing. And I know he hasn't caught a touchdown yet. And it's tough to keep buying into it. But look, besides Stephon Diggs as the alpha in the Bills offense, like, it's pretty flat across the board in terms of targets. Like, Josh Allen is just kind of going to whoever else is left. And one week it's Isaiah McKenzie that catches the touchdown. The other week it's Gabriel Davis that catches the touchdown. So I want the guy with the touchdown upside, which I don't think Conklin really has that much of. The Jets are playing the Steelers. So I'm going to go with Knox.
My bold prediction, I read yours, but mine was that Zach Wilson's gonna ruin Garrett Wilson. That's my bold prediction.
Why can't it be a fun prediction where he makes him better? Why can't that be the prediction?
Because I live in reality. I hate it. I'm the bucket of cold water right now, and I hate Wilson on Wilson crime, but I feel like it's coming. I feel like it's coming. It's going to be ugly. All right, one thing that's not ugly, in fact, it's beautiful. It's My Playbook. Manage your fantasy football lineups and dominate your leagues with My Playbook from fantasypros.com. My Playbook is the suite of the most powerful tools to help you make better decisions. Manage your lineups and win your leagues. That's what it's about. We're here to win. Why are you spending all this time and energy over these teams if you're not going to win? And My Playbook helps you win, so you want to get My Playbook. Created by Fantasy Pros. They're the #1 fantasy sports advice and tools provider in the universe. This app will help you import your teams to get custom fantasy football news, rankings, and analysis. It's glorious. Literally the best app that I have on my phone. Not even kidding. So sync your leagues today at fantasypros.com/myplaybook or download directly at the Apple or Android store. That's what you do. My Playbook. Make your life better. Crush your leagues. Crush your competition. Go get it. Seriously. It's so good. So good. Anyway, let's get more of the other stuff here. Albert M. Lamb or Sutton in the full PPR this week, buddy?
Sutton.
You're going to die on that Sutton hill, aren't you?
What do you? He's been good the last 2 weeks.
I'm just teasing you. I just wanted to get a rise out of you. I say Sutton too. I just wanted to see you get mad for a second.
Well, it worked.
I love you. I love you so much. Adam Rose, Herbert or Stevenson, full PPR?
Herbert.
I agree. You got to try Herbert here. I mean, goodness knows how many 3 and outs. You want to take a over under on the yardage total of the Patriots offense this week? You want to do that with me, Andrew? It's gonna be miserable.
I mean, it's all going to depend on how much garbage time they can get in the fourth quarter. Like that
is dangerous. Well, if Zappy doesn't play, I'd set the number at 157 over under. How about that? That's
I think they'd probably get over that.
You think they get over that? All right. Without Zappy, that was the thing. I want to see Zappy.
Oh, okay.
62 touchdowns. Let's go. Adam Rose, we already got to him. Let's get to Danny Hacker. Kittle or Everett? Has it come to this already?
I mean, I'm starting George Kittle still. Like, I get that there's concerns, and we could see more concerns with the tackle issue that we have in San Francisco. Why is his name escaping me? The left tackle for the 49ers that's hurt right now. Trent Williams.
Williams, sorry.
Yeah, so if his absence is going to cause the coaching staff to be like, hey, we need Kittle to block more, like that's a concern. And definitely a possibility. But at the same time,
all your draft capital's in Kittle. Like you gotta play Kittle.
Exactly. Like unless Kittle goes out there and is like literally running around like 50% of the dropbacks, then okay, then we'll have to reassess in going into next week. But for right now, he's still one of the most dynamic playmakers they have.
Here's a question for David that David didn't ask, but I'm going to try to help David further. If Kittle smashes this week and you like Everett, would you trade Kittle?
Yep.
I would too. David, see, extra help here. Fantasy Pros. There you go. Let's go to Cody Pedro Serrano. Should I be worried about Waddle? Doesn't seem like it. He's playing today. I mean, Waddle's fantastic talent. I'm not too worried. Are you worried about Waddle?
No, I don't get worried about players. So, like, Waddle's not an every snap player anyway. Like, they don't do that in Miami with him and Tyreek Hill. But part of his allure is that he can just take one to the house for like 80 yards for a touchdown. It's like the same thing with Swift, where people were worried about Swift in the first time with the ankle injury. He's like, oh, like, I don't know if I can play Swift. And then what do you know? He like, goes out there and like scores a 50-yard touchdown. It's like, and he was playing, he barely played. Like he was on a pitch count, but people didn't want to play him. But it's like, when you have guys on pitch counts that are super explosive, like, I don't care. Like, they don't need to play on every down. Like, and that's Waddle. Like, that's part of why Waddle is good and why you want him in your lineup, because he doesn't need to play on every snap to be productive. So, yeah, I'm not worried.
Let's go to Jim M. Burrow or Tua? Who would you rather play this week?
Joe Burrow. I don't think it's close.
Agree. Well, you know, Tua had that monster game. Now everybody wants to live in that moment, but I tried to tell everybody last week, don't live in that moment. They didn't want to listen to me. Robert Christensen, should I trade Travis Etienne for Zeke? Talk about headache for headache.
No.
Why would you do that?
I'm not trading anything for Zeke. Like, no. I'd rather have Etienne.
Yeah, me too. Jason McCullough, trade Hurts Edmonds for Kupp and Stafford. So we're doing duo here. You want the Kupp Stafford stack, or you want Hurts and Chase Edmonds?
I mean, I definitely want. I mean, Cooper Kupp is like by far the best piece of this deal, so that's who I want.
That's how I look at it too. As good as Hurts is, like,
dude, Edmonds is the backup on his own team. So
look, I just look at the best player. Kupp's got something ridiculous, like 90 plus yards in every game since the turn of the century or something like that. Like, it's some ridiculous stat that he's been racking up time and time again. Like, I think you got to take Kupp in that deal, and Stafford's fine. Like, it's not great, but he's fine.
He's good enough. And Kupp, I know Kupp's stat line wasn't like great last week because he didn't catch a touchdown. Like, he like had like this bizarre drop for a touchdown, which you like never see. And it's so weird. Like, we were talking about all these elite wide receivers, you know, entering week 3, and then most of them just kind of bombed. And everyone's like, oh, I got to trade Kupp, got to trade Jefferson, got to trade Chase.
I've seen a lot of Kupp trades last week, and that was very, I mean, people didn't like the 15 targets and the 14 targets in the first 2 games where he caught 11 balls and 13 balls.
The fact that he's had like 90 receiving yards in like 10 plus games in a row, and he's
wide receiver 2 on the season, even with the bad game. Just here's some perspective, everybody. Before you go trading Cooper Kupp away, he's wide receiver 2 on the year after putting up a turd last week.
Yeah, no, I want Kupp. Yeah, I think that makes the deal pretty easy.
Head hurt. All right, let's go to the next one before I have an aneurysm here. Ethan Seiler. If Montgomery is out, Khalil Herbert or Curtis Samuel in the flex? Lots of Herbert and Samuel talk today.
I mean, Khalil Herbert. I don't see the hesitation.
Just call him Herbert, like Hubert.
Herbert.
I love that game. You played Hubert,
but like,
didn't you, at some point?
Do you have any hesitation with Khalil Herbert? If Montgomery's not playing, like, I mean,
if he plays, I don't have much. I mean, I like Herbert. You're talking like the president of the fan club. I was the guy drafting him everywhere. I've got him on every roster. He's in every lineup this week because I just don't believe Montgomery's healthy, even if he wants to suit up. I don't believe it. And they run the ball 90% of the time anyway. What's the difference? And that's not an accurate number, but it's closer than you think. Everybody, was it 67 or some kind of absurd number?
It's literally not.
67.
And the thing that's bad about it is the fact that both Herbert and Montgomery have been really efficient, like running the football, and the Bears have a winning record. So you can go to like the general manager and be like, hey man, we're winning games and we keep running the ball, so we're just going to keep doing it. And you're just like, great.
I mean, look, I would say that if you're in a standard league, it's definitely Herbert. In a half, I probably lean Herbert. In the PPR, I get the pause there. But if Montgomery is out, then it's definitely Herbert regardless for me, because I want the touches. I want to have that guy.
Yeah.
Coyote, full PPR. Start George Pickens or Mack Hollins this week. The first chase of Mack Hollins. You want to do that? You want to chase the Mack Hollins?
I mean, it's been 2 weeks, though, of production for him. Back-to-back weeks, not just one. And George Pickens has done nothing.
Is that because solely the Hunter Renfrow injury, though?
Well, Hunter Renfrow played in week 2, and Mack Hollins was still getting a lot of targets in week. Mack Hollins is on the field on every single play. Like, he is the number 3 wide receiver on the roster. He doesn't play in the slot. He plays in the outside. So Hunter Renfrow, when the team goes in 2 tight end sets, Renfrow comes out the field. Mack Hollins doesn't. So if Patrick Surtain is going to be matched up with Davante Adams, then it's another favorable matchup for Mack Hollins on the other side of the field. And like, Derek Carr has been calling his name, and he delivered last week. So like, we talked about the quarterbacks. Like, okay, yeah, George Pickens made this sick one-handed catch. And
you don't get extra points for it.
And he still didn't do anything. Like, that's what it took for him to get what he got last week. Like, this unbelievable one-handed catch, because that's what he's getting, these hospital balls from Mitchell Trubisky. So, I'll go with Hollins.
Now you have me thinking I have Hollins way too low in my rankings. That's what you did there. That's what you did. Where do you have Hollins in your
I
rankings?
mean, he's in my top 50, so
Okay, I have him at
he should
52,
he
so
should
maybe it's not so
be
bad.
in that range.
Okay.
But I mean, I have him ahead of Pickens, so.
I am behind Zay Jones and guys like that. You still have Zay Jones ahead of him, right?
No, I don't.
Really?
I mean,
Okay.
I don't like the Eagles have like
Oh, the Eagles are
3
good, but
really good corners. They're the one team that has like a cornerback in every. So Slay, Bradbury, Maddox, all top 24 guys PFF ranking. Like the only team that has anything like that. So I think that Jaguars receivers are going to have a tough battle this week.
Okay, let's continue on with your questions here. Again, like the stream. Don't forget, click that little button right now. Good. Smash the like button. And of course, subscribe to Fantasy Pros. That way, you can drop a question here and we want to help you out. Giovanni Hernandez, let's help him. Pierce or Hunt this week?
I'm starting Hunt.
Starting Kareem Hunt. Montez Bingham, who is a better stream option? Kirk Cousins or Tannehill? Oh, it's Kirk Cousins in London. He loves London.
Oh, yeah.
Hates Mondays, loves London. He is, he's like one of those cat posters where he says, I hate Mondays. I want to get a poster that's Kirk Cousins hating Mondays. I want that in my office somewhere.
See, the thing with Kirk Cousins, we all know he's horrible on prime time, but he seems that he's going to be elite at 9:30 in the morning Eastern. Like, that's when he's like dialed in. Like,
he's like a senior citizen. He's
exactly.
He's up at 4:30. He's had breakfast by 5. He's walked to the treadmill. He's out there. The dog's been walked. He played 9 holes, and he's gonna go out there and play. But look, if he doesn't eat at 4:30, he gets very cranky. Things are a problem. All right, Raekwon. I traded Jamal Williams for Kamara. Did I win?
Yeah, I think so. I
think in theory you did. I mean, if DeAndre Swift, the worst should befall him, we can have that conversation. Kamara hasn't been healthy, but I mean, theoretically, it's a win. That's for sure. I hate when you make good theoretical trades though, and they backfire. That's the worst, isn't it?
But that's the thing. It's like, the winner of this could change every single week because Kamara could go out and get hurt, and then, oh, well, now you win. And then Kamara comes back, and then, oh, no, now you lose. So, like, there's just a lot. That's why I don't think you should look at trades as you're trying to win. Like, you're trying to benefit both rosters. Like,
yes,
that's really should be the goal of the trade is both teams benefit. You both get better and not, oh, I'm just trying to try to beat someone.
This person, right?
Yeah, like that's not.
Because then you ruin your trading partners. You always want to have deals that help everybody. Exactly. When everybody's happy and miserable, that's a good compromise. That's a good trade. Robert Lavelle, who would you start in PPR? Damian Harris or Damian Pierce?
Damian Pierce.
Yeah, I know you're not high on Harris. Juan Diego, should I start Njoku?
Yes. I think he should.
I'll tell you what, if he craters again, I'm telling you right now, people are going to lose their minds. Like, he is in that cycle now where you started him the first couple weeks, you hated life, you sat him, week 3 goes off, now you put him back in the lineup. If he doesn't perform again, you're going to see Njoku hit the waiver wire everywhere. I'm telling you, he's going to get dropped like it's hot. DJ Lors, bench Davante Adams this week for a wide receiver 2 like Curtis Samuel. DJ, Bro, you want to bench Davante Adams, your first pick, your first round pick, Davante Adams, Hall of Fame wide receiver, Davante Adams. You want to bench him for Curtis Samuel off the waiver wire. I'm not saying you can't play Samuel in your flex, but you're going to bench Davante Adams for him? Bro, this is like a mad bro. This is not even like I'm not even disappointed. I'm angry.
Dude, everyone hates these receivers now because they didn't score 30 points last week.
Good. Trade them all to me. I will take all of them. I've been kicking the tires on Adams on all kinds of trades all week. DJ. Bro. All right, let's go to King J here. Pick 2. Ekeler, Pierce, Herbert, Hall, Stevenson. You can only get 2 of these guys. Who are the 2 that you want? And let's play Montgomery is out when it comes to Herbert in this decision. I know Hall's been very appealing to a lot of folks. I know you like Stevenson. Eckler's been underperforming. Pierce, off the big week. This is a tricky one here. King J's got some problems.
I'm still going to go with Ekeler and Herbert here for me. Okay. I mean, the Texans defense is... the Chargers can't run the football and the Texans can't stop the run. So one of these things is going to have to break.
That was like a Sesame Street thing. That was beautiful. I would agree. I would definitely agree with those two too. I think it's the way to go. And look, this is a good problem to have. You have some depth here. You're going to need it in the next 4 weeks as bye weeks are, quickly approaching here for these teams. Stevenson just doesn't have any upside this week because of the offense. So I would take him out of that
Yeah.
equation easily, but I agree. Ekeler and Herbert. Kyle Clark, tough times, hard times, daddy. Just like our back in the day with Dusty Rhodes. Half point PPR. Do I flex Metcalf or Ayuk or Juju? Who are you
Ayuk.
flexing this week?
Ayuk.
Why? Just out of curiosity.
Because the Rams their defense just bleeds fantasy points to wide receivers. They just give up so many completions that you get points by these guys racking up. I mean, Marquise Brown, how many catches did he have last week? 14. Greg Dortch, was getting double-digit targets. Zach Ertz was getting double-digit targets. Like,
no one's as good as Greg Dortch.
Those guys
not even Davante Adams.
So the fact that the Rams are a good matchup for wide receivers. Like, I know they have Jalen Ramsey, but the way that they use him is not like, oh, he's like on an island with these receivers. Like, they let them catch the ball and then they tackle them, and that gets you points in fantasy. So I like Ayuk the most.
Uncle Drew, trade Antonio Gibson and Dobbs for Bateman and David Montgomery. You like that deal?
That one is interesting. I think the thing with Montgomery though is I don't know. Like, I just don't like trading for like injured guys just because I'm like,
well, I like Bateman's the best piece, but I feel like this whole deal is just gross. Like,
it's one of those, like, I think that I would probably, I mean, I also like Dobbs a decent amount too. I know I was able to add him on a couple places this week.
I don't know, man. This is a tough sell. I would say if you're desperate for wide receiver help, then Bateman's a big enough upgrade over Dobbs that I would do it.
Yeah. I don't mind like trying to sell high on Gibson, but I guess like for me, it's like,
I don't mind selling high on Dobbs. I just I hate, it's just a weird combination of players for me.
Yeah.
It's stinky.
Yeah.
I don't like it. But again, if you need the wide receiver upgrade, I think Bateman's the way to go. Mark Moore, Dylan or Breece Hall, this is funny. In the full PPR, sorry.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
I thought it said half full.
Yeah, half full.
How do you like your PPR? You look at half empty or half full? How do you look at that score?
My decaffeinated PPR.
So Dylan or Hall?
I mean, I'm going with AJ Dillon here. I mean, I don't expect the Patriots to keep this competitive, and if that means Dillon is just running the ball in the second half, then he could smash. So I like Dillon.
I do like where things are going, though, with Breece Hall. It's going in the right direction. Austin Shipman, sit 2, full PPR, Debo, Sutton, Higgins, Jamal Williams, Khalil Herbert, and Joe Mixon. Ooh, lolly. That's a good team.
Dude, oh my God. Like,
you got to sit 2? I mean, I guess I'm
probably
going to Khalil and Jamal, right?
Yeah, as I was saying, we're probably going to sit the guys that I wouldn't have started if the other running backs on their team weren't already hurt.
But let's think about that. Is that the way to go, or do you want to get at least one of those guys in there for more touches? I guess that's in terms of matchup, in terms of, because Sutton does have some volatility. Higgins does too. Let's not,
But it's full PPR too, and I don't think Williams or Khalil Herbert necessarily have like these massive receiving roles in their respective backfields.
Yeah.
So,
and it's tough to sit Mixon. I mean, you can't really do that.
Mixon touches the ball way too much to not start him.
Even though he's been, less than thrilling. Justin Jeffords drop Stafford for Trevor Lawrence. I don't know about this week. I don't know if is that the way you want to do this week?
I mean, Stafford's playing the 49ers, so I would say that's about the same type of matchup as what Lawrence has against the Eagles, and I think that Lawrence has been better. So
it's a good
rest
argument.
Of season, rest of the season, I moved Lawrence into my top 10 because I was like, I want this guy on my team. So if you have to drop Stafford for him, I think that's fine.
You convinced me. Well done. Millie C. What a week. What a week. What week is best to grab Deshaun Watson?
I think that you want to look at your team in terms of, it's kind of like a loaded question, but I think you want to look at your team in terms of like, when do you need bench spots for bye weeks? Because you don't want to have Deshaun Watson eating up a bench spot when you have a bunch of guys on bye. Like after, I would say you get past like the bye-mageddon. I don't remember exactly when that is. After that week
this year, though,
I think it's like in week 10.
Yeah. I mean, by then he's already on his way back. I would say that once you're 3 games over 500, how's that for an answer? Because you have a little wiggle room. If you're 6-3,
you also have to
week
remember,
9,
like, are you
going to
start him in his first game back? I know he's playing the Texans.
Yes.
You're going to start. You're going to start him without having seen him
Texans,
play.
Yes.
Without you haven't seen him play in an NFL game in like 2 years.
Don't care. Yes.
And he did not look good in the preseason. So
fine. Against the Texans, yeah, I'm gonna play. Yeah.
So that seems like a very motivational take there.
It is. I like to put the football back in fantasy football every now and then. I did it last week with Rodgers and Brady over Tua.
Okay, yeah, sorry. Tua got a freaking concussion. They put him back in the
It
game.
wasn't a concussion. It was a back issue, remember? George
Yeah,
Rogers.
I didn't realize my back was on my head.
Well, sometimes that happens. George Rogers. Trade Jaylen Waddle for Justin Jefferson. Yes.
Yeah, I would do
I love
that.
Waddle, but you found the guy for me. Trey Stanfield. Someone just dropped Pitts, but I have Andrews. How much fab should I spend and who do I drop? Let's talk about who do you drop first. DJ Moore, Garrett Wilson, Stevenson, or Olave. Will you drop any of those guys to pick up Kyle Pitts? That's tempting.
I would
here.
probably drop DJ Moore.
Wow.
Well,
Amazing.
he has the least
I
amount of
know,
value.
It's just amazing. I know.
Like,
I know.
yeah.
I
I
know.
would rather have because at
How
worst,
many
what
shares do
DJ
you have a DJ this year? You got any shares? I got 0.
I drafted
0.
him
13 leagues.
The only
0
times I
shares.
ever got him were where someone took Courtland Sutton in front of me, and I was like, oh, damn, like I have to take DJ Moore.
Mhm.
It was not a pick. I was like, oh yeah, I got DJ Moore. I was like, I'll
Yeah.
take DJ Moore, and yeah, it's
So, but
bad
what's
right
the
now.
value there with Pitts? Like you want to blow a bunch of your fab and then play him as your flex? Is that your plan?
I mean, yeah,
you can.
that's what I would say. Or you can try
Right?
to trade. I mean, what can you trade for Mark Andrews right now? Like you
A
can
lot.
probably
You
get
a lot.
like,
Well, that's what I
that's
would
what I
do. See,
mean.
I would flip Mark Andrews and improve elsewhere.
You can
So-
get literally. You could probably. You can pretty much get any player. I would say Mark Andrews is a top 10 overall.
So how much
player.
fab would you blow on Pitts? You going to blow 60% on it?
Well, I think you have to put him in respect. I mean, why was he getting dropped in the first place? Like, he had a good week last week, didn't he? Like,
It was better.
So,
I mean,
because
the
you
bar
always
was
want to keep
low.
whenever these weird players hit waivers. It's always remember that someone
Who
then
did they
doesn't
drop
value them.
for? Like,
I don't know. I mean, but I would drop DJ Moore. I think that's fine. And
I mean, look, he had 5 catches for 87, still no touchdowns on the year, which was also his problem last year.
well, I mean that's also, but that's like the DJ Moore stat line, isn't it? Except Kyle Pitts, you can play at tight end. So-
Look, man, I'm with you. I would, but the thing is, you are then blowing all your fab to make this move, so you
well,
almost have to.
Well, then I would say then don't blow. So I would say like 25% or 30%, and I mean almost kind of like price enforce a little bit. Like make sure if someone gets Pitts, like they have to pay up to get him.
I would go a little higher. I would go 40-ish
All right.
because I think at some point the Kittle person who's heavily invested or somebody else is probably going to, that Pitts will have more value at some point, or like you said, you trade Andrews off another huge week. It gives you flexibility. Pablo Gomez. That was a very, very interesting question. Pablo Gomez. Hello from Australia. What's up, Pablo? Awesome. Sit 1. Dalvin Cook, Curtis Samuel, Christian Kirk.
I would sit Curtis Samuel if Dalvin Cook. It doesn't. I mean, Dalvin Cook doesn't play. You just sit him, and then if not,
Well,
it's sit
obviously,
Samuel.
right. But if Cook plays, you're sitting Samuel. I agree. You can't sit Kirk. I know it's a tough matchup, but Christian Kirk has been awesome. You cannot sit him. Next here, this is from my dude. I'm going Bengals over Miami defense today. Am I insane?
I mean, I think that there are arguments for both DSTs. I mean, Joe Burrow gets sacked like no one's business. So that's the thing about him. And then, but you also have Miami's offense that's coming off, this very long game. They played a bunch of snaps. Like, how great is Tua going to be? Like, I mean, I feel like the Miami Dolphins defense is kind of safe because like they're going to get sacks just because of the way Burrow holds on to the ball. But I also think Burrow could throw for like 300 yards and like 4 touchdowns against them. So I think it almost kind of depends on like what's your scoring format. Like if you get a lot of negative points, then I would probably lean towards the Bengals. But if it's just like, hey, sacks are worth a ton, then you want to start Miami's DST.
That was my take too. Let's go to Gabe Monday. Should I trade CMC for Chase or Jefferson? So who would you rather have, CMC or Chase, or CMC or Jefferson rest of the season?
I mean, I probably would just keep CMC.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, look, the only way I do this trade is if, once again, I fit the running back lottery. Like if you got if you got James Robinson and a bunch of other guys who are playing really well for you, and you could afford to make this move and it makes sense, then I'm good with that. And in which case, I would take either one, but I prefer Jefferson still. Debril Hand, always love the content, guys. Thanks, Debril. Lineup question: Hollywood at Carolina, Herbert at New York Giants for my flex spot in full PPR.
I like Khalil Herbert still.
All right, Khalil Herbert is. Ashley Edenfield, pardon me. Half PPR, pick 2. Aaron Jones, Bateman, Moore, Godwin. You can only get 2. I assume Jones is locked in. Who's the other one?
I'm assuming it's DJ Moore. Is that who
I am assuming it's DJ Moore.
I mean, look, DJ Moore, If he's
It's
ever
not
going to have,
Rondale.
it's not Rondale Moore. Could be Elijah Moore too.
Could be
We don't
Elijah
know.
Moore,
That could be
but
Elijah Moore.
also a lesser Moore.
Yeah, also lesser Moore. I'll go with Aaron Jones and DJ Moore here.
I'm gonna go Aaron Jones and Rashad Bateman. That's where I'm going. So give me Bateman. I'm sick of the DJ Moore stuff. Pearson Daniels trade Waddle for Swift straight up. That's a dangerous deal.
I wouldn't do that right now. That seems like you're just taking a loss of value because Swift is hurt and Waddle's not, and they're both been pretty good. So I would just keep Waddle.
Captain B, need one. DJ Moore, Bateman, or Olave in the PPR this week.
I'm just gonna take Olave.
All right, I'm going to take Bateman, so sorry, we're no help there. Dakota Black, Hollins or Dobbs rest of season? It's got to be Dobbs, right?
Dobbs has the upside to be the Packers' number one wide receiver. Like Hollins is like, it's kind of like a nice story right now. Like, oh, like he's productive, but like there's like 3 other receivers in his offense that could easily out-target him for the rest of the year, where that is not the case with Dobbs.
Juju wants to know, so I can only assume it's Juju Smith-Schuster. Juju wants to know Hunt or Jacobs this week.
Hunt.
Now, your older brother on the podcast yesterday, Jared Smalla, was making an argument for Josh Jacobs yesterday. Do you have any love for Jacobs going into this week?
I mean, he does the same thing every single week. He rushes for a bunch of like yards on like 10 carries, has a couple catches, doesn't score. It's the same stat line every single week from Jacobs. So I mean, Kareem Hunt, we just see if the dude had scored the touchdown, if he didn't get stuffed twice inside the 5-yard line, people wouldn't even be questioning. Kareem Hunt's more productive than Jacobs, and he's not even the bell cow in his own offense. So I like Hunt.
Now, if you actually like touchdowns, I want to encourage everybody to go to our Discord. It's free to join, fantasypros.com/chat. And in the Discord, if you are a premium Fantasy Pros user, again, you can go to fantasypros.com/offers, make a small deposit, then you get all the fancy tools, 6 months for free of our Fantasy Pros premium package. You can get involved in this. Look at this, the touchdown calls leaderboard. That's out there too. We got a touchdown game going. We're giving away a signed Stephon Diggs jersey right there. GC Hirsch 17 still at the top of that board. Also weekly winners too. So if you win the week in the touchdown call contest, you get a $25 spending spree in our Fantasy Pros store. So that's pretty cool. So check it out. Have some fun. Maybe fantasy is not going your way and you want to have a little fun with some other stuff. Maybe you drafted too many shares of Ezekiel Elliott. I don't know. But look, check it out. fantasypros.com/chat and join the touchdown calls channel right now. And don't forget to like the stream too while you're at it. Hanging out here, talking football with you. Mack Gaming. Team is 0-3. Lost Lance. Do I trade A.J. Dillon for Lawrence and Edmonds?
No. Why are people like freaking out and they trying to trade for quarterbacks because they lost Lance? Just use the waiver wire. I picked up Marcus Mariota and I'm fine. Mariota's just giving me, he's giving me what I thought Lance would give me. So it's like,
don't trade away running back for this. Like, no, don't do that. Mill Civvy. Should I trade Breece Hall and Keenan Allen for Swift?
No.
Okay.
I'm not trading away Breece Hall right now. I want to trade for him.
Tamar, trade Tua or Marquise Brown? For Marquise Brown.
Yeah.
Yes, right. Well, how do you feel about Brown with Hopkins looming in the next couple weeks?
I mean, you look at the way the Cardinals offense is operating is basically they're just throwing the ball to 3 different guys. So if Hopkins then comes in and takes over the targets that you're seeing, like from your guy, Greg Dortch, then it's just going to be Hollywood Hopkins and, Ertz getting the targets. And then if someone gets hurt, they put the next guy in. It just seems like there's 3 guys that get the ball, each get double-digit targets. So maybe the upside's capped a little bit, but
can't you get more than Tua? Like, this doesn't seem like a great trade. I mean, in a super flex, I get this trade, but if it's just like a single quarterback league, why the heck are we doing this? Like, you can get more from Marquise Brown. Go get Breece Hall from Marquise Brown right now.
Well, I mean, I think this person is trading away Tua to get Marquise Brown, which I would want to do.
That's fine. I think this is trade Tua from Marquise Brown. Yeah, okay. They're trading away Tua from Marquise. Yeah, if you can get that, that's fine. Yeah, do that.
Yeah.
Sorry about that. The other person's making a bad choice. Thomas B. Trade Mike Williams and Leonard Fournette for Javonte Williams and CEH.
I don't want to trade for CEH.
I think I want Williams and Fournette. As much as I love Javonte, I think I want Williams and Fournette. I think that is the duo I feel best about on a weekly basis starting.
Yeah.
Brian Lemaster, PPR, Jeff Wilson, or A.J. Dillon?
I like A.J. Dillon.
Okay. Hunter Grimes, assuming they're healthy, James Conner or Gabe Davis in the full PPR?
Gabe Davis.
Jonathan Gutierrez, full PPR, flex, Garrett Wilson or Khalil Herbert? I think you gotta go Herbert. You don't know what Wilson is with Wilson. You don't know how Wilson feels about Wilson. You don't know if Wilson's going to be able to get the best out of Wilson or if Wilson's going to drag down Wilson. I hope you followed that. Let's get to Bring the Rain. Help, CeeDee Lamb or Marquise Brown?
I mean, CeeDee Lamb has been pleasantly surprising of
Right?
how much volume he's gotten, how his efficiency has gone up with Cooper Rush, who now is, pushing for the Dallas starting quarterback job, according to Jerry Jones. I'll go CeeDee here.
I agree. Plus, the rest of the season, I'd rather have CeeDee Lamb, so that's easy. Too, if we're like trying to choose between those two pieces or just this week, either way, CeeDee. Jonathan Ocampo, should I start Noah Brown over Brandon Cooks? Now, with Gallup back, does that throw a wrench for your Noah Brown stuff? I mean, I feel like you got to go to the Brandon Cooks well again, as frustrating as it's been.
Yeah, I mean, Cooks is still the alpha in his passing game, and Noah Brown's been running pretty hot on efficiency. Like, he's been catching a lot of touchdowns. But yeah, I think the Gallup thing makes it it just makes it that much more important that he has to be efficient. And yes, I get Cooper Rush has been playing well, but is that going to keep sustaining week over week after week? And it probably won't.
All right, let's go to the next question here. We have Adam J. And that is trade Austin Ekeler for Dalvin Cook in the half PPR.
I mean, only if I have Alexander Madison. Like, I just don't want to trade for Cook not having that backup plan because he's
like a headache
hurt.
for a headache. I mean, really, it's just,
yeah.
I don't like trades like that. I like to improve. Rod Rumulus, full PPR. Start Alvin Kamara or Rhamondre Stevenson. You got to start Kamara.
Yeah, I mean, I love Rhamondre Stevenson, but I'm not starting him over Alvin Kamara.
Long Live says, good afternoon, gentlemen. Good afternoon, Long Live. Thank you for doing this. Well, you're welcome. I mean, Chris makes us do it, but you're welcome anyway.
We have no choice.
We have no choice. We're literally, it's like he kicks us into the live stream, says, get in there, go talk to the people. Yeah, he waves his fist at us. Would you start Dameon Pierce, AJ Dillon, Mike Williams, or Rhamondre Stevenson? Full PPR in the flex. You can only pick one full PPR. You want Mike Will, you want Pierce, you want Dillon. Where do you want to go?
I'll go with Dillon here. It's either between Dillon and Pierce. I think I like.
Really, no Mike Williams for you, huh? You know,
well, I mean, I think Keenan Allen's going to come back, and
Yeah,
the Texans' defense has been decent so far against receivers. So, and I just need to see Justin Herbert be healthy. They have offensive line issues. Like, there's still a bunch of question marks. Mike Williams has really had only one good game this year. So
it's fair. It was a really good game.
We all knew it was going to happen too.
I know.
Like,
we all.
I
mean, that was lock it in, baby. Dale DeLeon. Who do I keep on my bench? Allen Lazard or Zay Jones? I think Lazard.
Yeah, probably bench Lazard.
I understand this question though. This is not a bro question. I'm still trying to process
Lazard just has
sit Davante Adams question. That's gonna stick in my craw for the rest of the afternoon. I'm just telling you. Like, how do you sit Davante Adams?
Sticking in my craw.
Don't do things like that. Prince Spence, Sutton or Higgins?
Sutton.
Christopher Edmonds, Cousins or Goff this week?
I have them ranked pretty close to each other, but
yeah, me too.
I'm going to go with Cousins.
I'm going to go with Cousins. I've got him at 9. I've got Goff at 12. Although the matchup is good for Goff. I get it. I'd still go with Cousins. Chris, the video producer, wants to know Aaron Rodgers or Carson Wentz this week?
I mean, Chris, have you seen our Patriots defense play football? Starting Aaron Rodgers.
I didn't know Chris was allowed to ask questions on his own stream. That seems like, I mean, I guess he can.
I mean, you're going Rodgers here, right?
Yeah, I'm going Rodgers here too. Yeah, I mean, come on. I can't go Wentz. Wentz is going to be
sacked 9 times last week.
I was going to say, did you watch Carson Wentz last week? I mean, it's going to be a bad scene. I mean,
against Dallas, it's not a good matchup.
Okay, I'm going to say this right now. Carson Wentz sacks or touchdowns thrown by Carson Wentz this week? What number do you like better? I like sacks.
I like the sacks.
Okay. Micah Parsons, like standing over him. DeMarcus Lawrence standing over him. Like, Wentz might have a couple moments, but Aaron Rodgers getting a chance to embarrass the Patriots, I'm sure, is something he's going to take advantage of.
Oh,
Trey Hawkins, Rhamondre Stevenson, or Jeffrey Wilson this week?
Jeff Wilson for me.
Yes, agreed. What do we do with Joe Mixon? That's from Chappie. Chappie wants to know what we do.
Buy low on Joe Mixon because he has he leads the league in carries inside the 10-yard line and hasn't scored yet. Like, that's not going to sustain. Like, he's going to score eventually, and that's where he's going to get all his production because all the usage is there. He's just missing the touchdowns. Okay. Those will come.
There you go. Those will come. You know what else will come your way? If you're good boys and girls and you do all your homework and you eat all your vitamins and you walk the dog and you empty the dishwasher, you do good things around the house and you subscribe to Fantasy Pros, you could win a Jaylen Waddle jersey. That's what you could get. That's right. We're giving it away here. You have to be a subscriber of Fantasy Pros. Look at it. Boom. Number 17, my favorite number. There it is. Jaylen Waddle jersey. Thanks to our good pals at Pristine Auction. All you got to do, be a subscriber, drop a question in the chat today. Boom. Just like that, you're entered. It's very easy. And click that little bell for notifications till it goes ding. That way, you know, every single time a piece of content drops. And if you are the big winner, could be you, could be anybody. Can't be me. And it can't be Andrew. We can't win. I guess it could be Chris, but I mean, that would kind of be rude. He did ask a question and he does subscribe. So technically, I guess he's allowed, but we're not going to allow that to happen. Trey Hawkins, we did yours. We did Chappie's. Let's get to the fuzzy pickle. The fuzzy pickle. What's the chance Montgomery comes back? Do we wait for the flex? I say no.
I agree. Don't wait.
No. Don't wait. Dumbbell Dallas. Robert Woods or DJ Moore? Well, we've hit rock bottom here on the show. There you go.
I'm not playing Robert Woods.
Yeah, like Robert Woods. I'm just going to say Robert Woods right now. Do you want to take a guess where Robert Woods is?
I don't know. I mean, I wasn't drafting him, so he's irrelevant to me. Where is he?
Well,
wide receiver 50.
What about the people? You know, just because he's irrelevant to you doesn't mean he's irrelevant to everybody. Robert Woods, you know, I'm trying to scroll to find him here. Robert Woods, you say wide receiver 50.
He's got to go so down. I mean, he had a decent week last week, so I wasn't sure that bumped him up.
So 50 is your number.
Yeah, it's probably way off.
67
in
standard, in half PPR, 67 in full PPR. 65. There you go.
It's probably where DJ Moore is too. DJ Moore's probably worse, actually.
You know what all that tells me is I should drop him in my rankings. He should not be 50 in my rankings.
Robert Woods? Oh no, he's not.
Well, the problem is the rest of the other guys around there not very good either. So, all right, let's go to Miguel Miranda. Should I worry about Justin Herbert this weekend? I mean, it's the same thing as last. Like, he didn't look all that bad to me. You can tell he's not 100%. But with the full complement of weapons in the matchup, I'm playing Herbert. That's what I'm doing. I'm just not going to.
Yeah. I mean, he's too good. Like, this is one of those things where, like, Justin Herbert's too good. Like, you can't get. I mean, if it's like consecutive weeks where it's like, oh no, like the line can't block, like guys aren't healthy. Like, okay, then we'll have to move him down. But look, it was his first week back. This is his second week, so you know he's adjusted now. He knows what it's like to play a full game with the rib injury. So
I mean, he threw for 297 last week.
Yeah.
I mean.
Yeah, and if Mike Williams made a couple more plays, he would have had a better stat line too.
Yeah.
So
I'm starting Justin Herbert, and if anything, just give yourself a little bit more leeway in the flex. Like, don't make a stupid decision there. We'll play some like low floor guy. Like, give yourself a little bit more just in case. Let's go to BX Superman. Trevor Lawrence, Jameis Winston, Jacoby Brissett. Who do you start? You want to take Lawrence for the tough matchup or Winston or Brissett? Ugh. I'm going to die with Trevor Lawrence personally.
Yeah, no, I think that this is a scenario where I just want to play the best guy, and that's Lawrence.
Our favorite accountant, Saul Feinberg, wants to know, Carr against Denver or Mariota against the Browns?
I'm starting Derek Carr.
Derek Carr, okay. Xavier Bishop, trade Damian Harris for Josh Jacobs or Breece Hall?
Trade Damian Harris for Breece Hall. Yes. Yes,
Can
you
do
should
that?
do that.
Is that something that's available?
I would love to do that.
Yeah, sign me up. I want to be in that league. AC, should I pick? That's what's so hard about playing in these leagues that we play in. Like, you know, how am I supposed to sell Andy Barons on a trade? Like, I can't do that. You know, it's like I mean, come on, we're
pointless.
I mean, it's just as pointless. We send out these trades to each other, and we all look at each other like, we're not going to do any of these trades all week. No, I get trades every day. I send trades. You know, we're just looking at each other like, no. All right. AC, should I pick Allen Robinson off waivers? Pick him up off waivers? I mean, for bye weeks coming up, I would.
I guess. I kind of wanted to be someone else's problem, honestly.
Well,
if you can pick him up and trade him, yeah, I would do that.
Could have one good week. Artist Sharks, Kamara or Khalil Herbert, full PPR.
Ooh, that one's close for me.
It is closer.
Do you have a lean? Either way, I think I have them ranked back to back, which is
I just have a hard look. I'm the biggest Herbert guy there is, but I have such a hard time sitting my first round pick or my second round pick. Like, I hate. I'd like to play both of them. If Montgomery was definitively out, that'd be a different story. But
It's
again, we might not have that information in time because we got the guys playing in London. They're going to be going off earlier. So I think I
maybe
just play Kamara.
yeah, especially in the full PPR too. Like I know Kamara just has a higher, even though it hasn't been great with Winston as a
No.
receiver. I know he has a higher ceiling as a receiver than Herbert does.
I'll tell you what, too. If the Thomas news still continues to trend in a bad direction, that's good for Kamara, too.
Yeah.
That's good for target share. So there's things
Yeah.
that are working in his favor. Patrick Pollock. Should I trade Kelsey for Goddard and Hollywood?
Mm,
And
I
I
think
like
I'd try to just keep Kelsey.
Keep the premium player. Truly epic. Goff, Brady, Carr. Pick one.
Carr.
Yep. Gabe Berger, T. Higgins, Mike Evans, Sutton. Pick two. Who's the odd man out?
It's Mike Evans for me.
Mike Evans for you? I think it's T. Higgins for me. I want the Mike Evans touchdown coming back this week. I love Higgins.
You don't think Higgins can score a touchdown against Miami?
Well, he can, but
Dude, T. Higgins has been balling out the last 2 weeks. Like, and he keeps like getting hurt, and it doesn't even matter.
I know. I know. I'll defer to yours on this one. I'll defer. I love Higgins.
I just want to see this Bucks offense is just bit dysfunctional. Like they're
well,
not.
you want to talk about dysfunctional? We should talk more about the Broncos then. At that point, you know.
Yeah, but
Just
Sutton
saying.
has been productive the last 2 weeks, despite the fact they've been dysfunctional,
Mm.
and now they're playing the Raiders. So
All right, so you're sitting Mike Evans in that group. I'll go along with you because also the variable of the weather. How's that? There you go.
They said
There we
that the
go.
game is not going to get postponed either. It's going to be played on Sunday
They
night.
say a lot of things, but
That is also true.
things change. But one thing that never changes, how much we love you, all of you, for hanging out with us, talking football with us. We hope we helped you set the lineups. Hope we helped you with some trades and some other things. Make sure you like the stream, share, subscribe, do all those fun things that way get involved in the Waddle jersey. Join our Discord, fantasypros.com/chat. Join the Discord today. You can go play on that touchdown channel. And don't forget, download the My Playbook app over on the Google Play or Apple stores. It's there. It's available for you to make your fantasy life easier. Get in there, dominate your leagues, sync all your leagues, get the help with My Playbook. It's the best app in the universe. I'm telling you, it's really just a time saver and also gives you good advice to make sure you can manage all those teams that you got this year. That'll do it for us, but the story of the game goes on. For Andrew Erickson, I'm Joey P. We will see you next time, kids.